Here's integrated 3. It's 10-14, and in the problem it wants you to reference problem 10-7. It says how many people are in the amusement park in problem 10-7 to watch the noontime parade. So if you did 10-7, it gave you this scenario where more and more people keep coming every 15 minutes. And in 10-7, you found out how many people entered between 11:45 and noon. So in order to do that, you must have come up with a equation for that. So the equation that I found for that was 250 people kept coming every 15 minutes, and they were coming in increments of 15 minutes. I made a big, long table, but really you can get these numbers I started with the 0th term, so you can get these numbers just by, this was the starting amount of people, and then every 15 minutes, 250 more came. So this is what I used. I could use this to find any of these terms here. So if you did problem 10-7, you found out that at noon, or by noon, 4,050 people came into the park. But plus all these, I didn't write them all down, but all these other people are still there also. So in this problem, in 10-14, they're asking you how many people are there altogether. So it wants you to add all these numbers up. And so you could just, you could find out each number one by one, and then you can add them all up. But we found out there's a formula for this. And the formula is derived by pairing up these numbers. So we found out that if you just take the first number and the last number, each one of these, the second number and the second to last number, is going to add up to the same amount that the first and the last did. And they're going to pair up like that. And so you get this formula where you take the first number plus the last number, and then you can multiply it by half of however many numbers there are, because they're pairing. So instead of there being, see, I've got more than 15 terms because I started with the 0th term. So I've really got 16. If you counted all these numbers, because of the 0, I have 16 numbers. But that would give me half of 16 if I pair them. So that gives me 8. So it's 8 times the first number, which was 300, and the last number is 4050. So, and there's a formula for this. You can just look it up in your math notes box if you want to, but I'm doing it this way because I wanted you to understand how the formula works. Let's make sure. 4050 plus 300. Times 8. Let me check and make sure. Yeah, so that's the right answer. And if you wanted to look, let me see if I can even find that in your math notes box for you. So here's your math notes box, and this is kind of saying what I just was explaining to you. This one right here is the first term, and this is the kth term, or it's the last term. And then you're going to, so you add those up, and then you multiply by half of however many terms there are. So that's where the k over 2 comes in. Okay, so, and if you just carefully just give yourself some time on page 504 to read slowly this math notes box, it might make sense to you. So yeah, go ahead and read that, and hopefully that made sense to you.